Good morning, children. Welcome to the online classes. Please utilize this online classes in this pandemic period. Today, we are discussing about ninth class physical science, laws of motion, chapter 2. In this chapter, we are discussing about introduction of Sir Isaac Newton, the three laws of motion, first law of motion, an activity, first law of motion, momentum, second law of motion, formula of second law of motion, an example for the second law, third law of motion, third law some more examples, third law an activity, conservation of momentum, puzzle exercises. Introduction of Sir Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton is a great scientist. He takes place a permanent place of the physics world. He is an English physicist, mathematician, astronomical, natural philosopher, and a great scientist. He developed the theory of universal gravitation, and also he invented the nature of white light, rockets, satellites, and also invented the first reflected telescope. Come to the lesson. We observe the changes in motion of many objects around us. We already discussed the concepts of velocity and acceleration in the chapter motion. You know that our ancient philosophers very much interested in the study of motion. One question always popping up in their mind what is the natural state of an object if left to itself? Our common sense tells that every moving object on earth, if it is left rest or free for some time. For example, what happens if you stop pedaling your bicycle? It slows down gradually and finally stops. In ancient days, Aristotle, the great philosopher, concluded that the natural state of an earthly object is to be at rest. That means Aristotle, in his treatise on the heavens, argued that a constant force is necessary to keep the object in uniform motion. But Galileo Galilei argued that objects in motion would continue to be in uniform motion on level surface unless disturbed by an external agent. He verifies his statements, that means Galileo verifies his statements, explained to experiments on inclined planes with smooth surfaces. See this figure. The speed of the object increases as it is rolling down. That means he observed that when a marble rolls down a slope, it picks up speed due to the force of gravity of the earth. And second figure, when the object rolls up an inclined plane, its speed decreases. And third figure, now a marble is moving on a level surface as shown in figure third. It has no reason to speed up or slow down, so it will be continue to move with constant velocity. And second experiment, Galileo observed that figure 2a, the marble released from its initial height rolled down due to this force of gravity and then moves up the slope until it reached its initial height. Then he reduced the angle of the upward slope and did the same experiment as shown in figure 2b. The marble rolled up the same height, but it had to go further this instance. That means the distance travelled by its greater. He made his observation by further reduction in the angle of the upward slope. He got the same results. To reach the same height, the ball had to go further each time. However much it has to move to reach the same height if it has no slope to go up, since it has no slope to go up as shown in figure 2c. So finally, if it has free to external influences is motion, we can say that an object will remain in uniform motion unless a force acts on it. From these two experiments, we can say that an object will remain in uniform motion unless a net force acts on it. These are ideas primarily developed by Aristotle and Galileo. Newton proposed his three fundamental laws of motion, which explain the connection between change in motion. Newton laws of motion. Newton proposed three fundamental laws which explain the connection between force and a change in motion. These three laws are popularly called Newton's laws of motion. See this figure. The first Newton's first law of motion is also called as the law of inertia, and Newton's second law of motion is also called as law of acceleration. And finally, Newton's third law of motion is also called law of interaction. Newton's first law says that every object will remain at rest or in a state of uniform motion unless compelled to change its state by the action of a net force. Newton's first law explains what happens to an object when no net acts on it. Activity. To understand the Newton's first law of motion, make a circular strip from a thick paper. Balance the hoop on the center of the mouth of the bottle. Now, balance a pen cap on the paper hoop, allowing it on the center of the bottle's mouth as shown in figure. Pull the paper hoop with your finger as fast as you can. So you observe, as you use force on the paper ring, it comes into state of motion, but the pen cap remains in its state of rest. So it fell into the bottle. And we know about next activity, observing the motion of the coins hit by a striker. Make a stack of carom coins on the carom board. Give a sharp hit at the bottom of the stack with the striker. You can observe that the bottom coin can be removed from the stack and the others in the stack will slide down. When you hit with the striker, only that coin which striker hits will experience the force and comes to motion. The remaining coins continue to be in state of rest, hence the stock will be slide down. This is due to the inertia of remaining stack. Let us know about what is inertia. Inertia is the inherent property of a body due to which it resists a change in its state of rest or of uniform motion. Inertia can be understood in parts: inertia of rest and inertia of motion. Mass is a measure of the inertia of a body. Heavier objects have more inertia than lighter objects. Example: a stone of size of a football has more inertia than football. Second example: a cricket ball has more inertia than a rubber ball of the same size. Three types of inertia: inertia of rest, inertia of motion, inertia of direction. What is inertia of rest? The inability of a body to change by itself its state of rest. What is inertia of motion? The inability of a body to change by itself its state of uniform motion. Examples of inertia of motion: a passenger in a bus jerks forward when the bus stops suddenly, because the passenger tends to be in inertia of motion whereas the bus is stopped forcefully. And second, an athlete after reaching the finishing point can not stop suddenly, or if he stops suddenly then he falls stopping head down. Third, a car takes some time and moves through some more distance before coming to rest even after the application of brakes. And also another examples, see this figure. And inertia of direction. What is inertia of direction? The inability of a body to change by itself its direction of motion. Inertia and mass. A body at rest continues to be at rest, and a body is motion continues to be in motion. This property of a body is called its inertia. The inertia of a body is measured by the magnitude of force required to change the state of the body. The force required to change the state of a heavier body is more than the force required to change the state of the lighter body. This is because the mass of the heavier body is more than the mass of the lighter body. So, the mass of a body is a measure of its inertia. And next topic is Newton's second law of motion. Definition: the rate of change in momentum of an object is directly proportional to the external unbalanced force and is in the direction of the force. Momentum of a body. The next topic is momentum of a body. The momentum of a body is the product of its mass and velocity. Momentum is equal to mass into velocity. P is equal to mv, where P is the momentum of a body, m is the mass of the body, v is the velocity of the body. If a body is at rest, its velocity is 0, and so its momentum is also 0. The SI unit of momentum is kilogram meter per second, or kg meter per second, or kg meter per second. Example: a truck moving at a very low speed can kill a person standing in its path because of the heavy mass of the truck. A bullet of a small mass, when fired from a gun, can kill a person because of the large velocity of the bullet. So, the impact of a body depends upon its mass and velocity. Second law of motion is also called as law of acceleration. That it proves F is equal to ma. That means whereas F is net force, m is mass, and a is acceleration. Next topic is we prove Newton's second law of motion, F is equal to ma formula. The rate of change of momentum of a body is directly proportional to the applied force and takes place in the direction in which the force acts. So, force is equal to change in momentum by time taken. F is directly proportional to delta P by T. F is directly proportional to mv minus mu by T. F is directly proportional to m into v minus u by T. So, F is directly proportional to m into A. That means A is equal to v minus u by T. According to v is equal to u plus at formula. First, laws of equation. So, finally, F is equal to k into ma. If force of 1 Newton applied on a body of mass 1 kg produces an acceleration of 1 meter per second square on the body, then finally 1 is equal to k into 1 into 1. So, k is equal to 1. So, that's why F is equal to ma. F and force, m means mass, a means acceleration. So, here acceleration A is equal to F by m. The acceleration produced in a body is directly proportional to the force acting on it and inversely proportional to the mass of the body. Force is a vector quantity. Force can cause acceleration or deceleration. Example, accelerator of a car accelerates it and brakes decelerate it. SI unit of force is Newton. 1 Newton is defined as that force which, when acting on a body of mass 1 kg, produces an acceleration of 1 meter per second square in it. Units of F is equal to ma. F units newtons, m units kg, a units meter per second square. What is the differences between weight versus mass? Weight, the force of gravity acting on an object. Mass means how much matter makes up an object. A person will have the same mass no matter where in the universe it is measured. However, a person's weight will be different depending on the force of gravity where it is being measured. Problem of second law of motion. An object of mass 300 kg is observed to accelerate at the rate of 4 meter per second square. Calculate the force required to produce this acceleration. So, find out force. So, here m is equal to 300 kgs, a is equal to 4 meter per second square. That's why we apply formula F is equal to ma. F is equal to 300 kgs into 4. So finally F is equal to 1200 kg per meter square or 1200 newtons. See this figure. What does F is equal to ma says? F is equal to ma basically means that the force of an object comes from its mass and its acceleration. Examples. Something very massive, high mass that's changing speed very slowly, low acceleration like a glacier can still have great force. Second, something very small, low mass that's changing speed very quickly, high acceleration like a bullet can still have a greater force. Something very small changing speed very slowly will have a very weak force. Next topic is Atwood mission. Atwood mission used the system to prove verify Newton's laws of motion. Atwood used the system to prepare Newton's laws of motion. Atwood mission consists of two loads of masses m1 and m2. attached to the ends of a limb of inextensible string as shown in figure. The Atwood mission or Atwood's mission was invented in 1784 by the English mathematician George Atwood as a laboratory experiment to verify the mechanical laws of motion with constant acceleration. Atwood's mission is a common classroom demonstration used to illustrate principles of classical mechanics. Applications of Newton's second law of motion. A cricket player moves his hands backwards on catching a fast-moving cricket ball. A fast-moving cricket ball has a large momentum. In stopping the cricket ball, its momentum has to be reduced to zero. When a player moves his hands back, the time taken to stop the ball increases and hence the rate of change of momentum decreases. That is, the force exerted by the ball on the hands decreases. So the hands of the player do not get hurt. And also some more examples of Newton's second law of motion. See this figure. And next topic is Newton's third law. Every action has equal and opposite reaction is called Newton's third law of motion. Examples of Newton's third law of motion. Recoil of a gun. Identify action and reaction in this figure. Yes, bottom is action and the top is reaction. In this figure, action, reaction, and also water, action, reaction. These figures are all examples of Newton's third law of motion. In this figure, horse and cart problem. A horse is argued to pull a cart. The horse refuses to try, citing Newton's third law and his defense. The pull of me on the cart is equal but opposite to the pull of the cart on me. If I can never exert a greater force, action and reaction are always equal on the cart, then it exerts on me. How can I ever set the cart moving? Asked the horse. How would you reply? Why don't you educate the horse properly? Weight of a cart WC is balanced by reaction RC on the cart offered by the ground. Forward pull of the horse on the cart TC is balanced by the reaction pull of the cart on the horse T. If the horse pushes the ground in slanting manner action, the reaction offered by the ground is resolved into the vertical and horizontal components. The vertical component will balance the weight of the horse W. Finally, if the horizontal component H is greater than the friction F, then the force cart system will move forward with acceleration. We see one activity, Newton's third law of motion. To prove that action and reaction are equal and opposite, take two spring balances as shown in figure A and B connected together. Fix the spring balance B to a right support. When a force is applied by pulling the free end of the spring balance A, both the spring balances show the same readings. This shows that the force exerted by the spring balance A and B is equal but opposite in direction to the force exerted by spring balance B on A. So, the force exerted by the spring balance A on B is action, and the force exerted by the spring balance B on A is reaction. Students, see this in these figures, examples and explanation of Newton's third law of motion, action and reactions. Let us understand these examples of action and reaction. First one, when a bullet is fired from a gun, it exerts a forward force action on the bullet, and the bullet exerts an equal and opposite force on the gun, reaction, and the gun recoils. Second example, when a sailor jumps out of a boat, he exerts a backward force of the boat, action, and the boat exerts an equal and opposite force on the sailor, reaction, and the sailor jumps forward. Third one, when an air-filled balloon is released, the force of the air coming out of the balloon, action, exerts an equal and opposite force on the balloon, reaction, and it moves upward. Fourth one, when a rocket is fired, the force of the burning gases coming out, action, exerts an equal and opposite force on the rocket, reaction, and it moves upward. Students, let us know about action, reaction, activity. Aim: to show the action and reaction forces acting on two different objects. Materials required: test tube, rubber cork, cap, Bunsen burner, laboratory stand, and thread. Procedure: take a test tube of good quality glass and put a small amount of water in it. Place a cork cap at its mouth to close it. Now, suspend the test tube horizontally with the help of two strings as shown in figure. Heat the test tube with a Bunsen burner until water vaporizes and cork cap blows out. What will you observe? You will observe that movement of the test tube when rubber cork cap blows out. Compare the directions of movement of test tube as well as the rubber cork cap. Observe the differences in the velocity of rubber cork and cap that recoiling test tube. Students, some more examples of third law of motion in these figures. Next topic is conservation of momentum. The law of conservation of momentum states that the sum of moments of two objects before collision is equal to the sum of moments after collision, provided there is no unbalanced forces acting on them. This means that the total momentum of two objects is unchanged or conserved by collision. To prove law of conservation of momentum, suppose a big and small car move in the same direction with different velocities. Let the mass of the bigger car be m1 and its initial velocity is u1. Let the mass of the smaller car be m2 and its initial velocity is u2, such that u2 less than u1. Suppose both the cars collide for a short time t. Due to the collision, the velocity will change. Let the velocities after the collision be v1, v2 respectively. Suppose that during collision, the bigger car exerts a force F1 on the smaller car, and in turn, The smaller car exerts a force F2 on the bigger one. When the force F acts on the smaller car, its velocity changes from U2 and U1 and U2. So F1 is equal to M2 A2. F1 is equal to M2 A2. F1 is equal to M2 into V2 minus U2 by T. When the force F2 acts on the bigger car, its velocity changes from E1 to V1. F2 is equal to M1 A1. F2 is equal to M1 into V1 minus U1 by T. According to Newton's third law, F1 is equal to minus F2. M2 into V2 minus U2 by T is equal to minus M1 into V1 minus U1 by T. Cancelling T on both sides, we get M2 into V2 minus U2 is equal to M1 into V1 minus U1. So, M2 V2 minus M2 U2 is equal to M1 V1 minus M1 U1. M1 plus U1, M1 U1 plus M2 U2 is equal to M1 V1 plus M2 V2. So, total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum after collision. That's why initial momentum of the bigger car is equal to M1 U1. Initial momentum of the smaller car is equal to M2 U2. Final momentum of the bigger car is equal to M1 V1. Final momentum of the smaller car is equal to M2 V2. Next topic is impulse. Impulsive force. What is impulse? It is defined as the product of a force F affecting on an object of mass M for time. Mass for M and T. Impulse is equal to force into time. So that's why impulse is equal to Ft. Also can be defined as the change of momentum. So impulse is equal to mv minus mv. Units of kg, meter per second or Newton second. It is a vector quantity. So if we can increase the time of impact, we can reduce the force of impact. Let's see one activity. Take two eggs and drop them from a certain height such that one egg falls on a concrete floor, another falls on a cushion pillow. What will you observe? When we drop the egg on the concrete floor, it will break because a large force acts on the egg for the short interval of time. And also, when we drop the egg on a cushion pillow, it does not break because smaller force acts on the egg for the longer time. Formula of impulsive force. Impulse is equal to reduced average impact force is equal to F average into delta T, extended time of collision. That's why M into delta V. For a given change in momentum, the impulsive stays constant. Students, in this figure, increasing impulsive force, and in this figure, reducing impulsive force. Students, some more questions we learning in this chapter. How should you pound the nuts? Why? The pistol should hit the nuts fast and hard. This will shorten the contact time, thus increasing the impulsive force extended. And also, how should you staple a thick set of papers? The staplers should be hit fast and hard so that the time of collision is shortened, thus increasing the impulsive force exerted. We can deduce that a impulsive force is exerted when two objects are involved in a collision. And also airbags. We use airbags in cars. That means airbags help cushion the impact, reducing your momentum more slowly so that the force is less. Airbags are intended to be used as a supplementary device to the seat belt. And next question. Why does the goalkeeper in a football game wear gloves and curves his palms inward when catching the ball? Why? Both actions increase the contact time, thus reducing the impulsive forces exerted when the ball collides with the goalkeeper's hands. Why was the blue car less severely damaged than the red car? The impulsive force acting on the blue car was smaller because the pile stand increases the time of impact. Why does the boy bend his knees? By bending his knees when he lands, he lengthens the time of impact, thus decreasing the magnitude of the impulsive force. How should we hit a nail with the hammer? Why? A hammer should hit the nail fast and hard. This will drive the nail further into the wood because the impulsive force exerted is large due to the short contact time. Once again, I will repeat impulse and impulsive force. An impulsive force is a large force that acts over a short period of time during collisions or explosions. Examples of impulsive forces are hitting a golf ball, hitting a nail using hammer. Already we see these examples: collision of cars, cannon firing. Students, summary of these lessons. We learning in this lesson laws of motion, inertia, mass, linear momentum, conservation of momentum, impulse, impulsive force, three laws of Newton's three laws of motions and their examples. We already learning conservation of momentum, and we prove that conservation of momentum formula and F is equal to ma formula is the learning in this lesson. Students, listen and write carefully all these points in your notes. I will given one exercise, so complete this exercise. First question. When we consider force acting on a body, do you mean balanced or unbalanced force? Name the unbalanced force. Name the unbalanced force that stops a ball rolling on the ground. Name the property of bodies due to which they resist change in their state of rest or state of uniform motion along a straight line. On what factor does the inertia of a body depend? The mass of two objects are 2 kg and 20 kg. Which body has greater inertia? And sixth question. What is the other name for Newton's first law of motion? Seventh. When the branch of a tree shaken, its fruits fall down, give reason. Eighth. Why does a person in a bus tend to fall forward when it stops suddenly? Ninth. Why does a person in a bus tend to fall backwards when it starts suddenly? 10th. Sometime a person thrown out of the bus when the driver takes short turn. Why? And also I will given multiple choice questions. Students, complete this multiple choice questions. First one, the SI unit of force is. And second one, what do we get by the product of mass and velocity? Third one, the rate of change of momentum of an object is proportional to. Fourth one, if two balls of same masses are dropped on sand, the depth of the is same as. A coin placed on the cardboard on the X glass requires rest because. Students, I will given also a puzzle of this laws of motion. So write this puzzle in your notes and complete this puzzle carefully. Do not waste your time. So all points in this lesson, note that your notes carefully and learn important points in this lesson.